That means they're trying to hide something, trying to distract us from something. I'm going to tell you tonight exactly why all of a sudden everybody's admitting that there's UFOs tonight and how it's tied to World War III and how it's tied to Biden and Donald Trump trying to stop him. Let's go. Big Picture Live. All right, we got a big show for you tonight, and we got a big, huge announcement. About halfway through the show, I'm going to make a massive announcement that I'm so excited about. So, let's do this thing, and let's bring in the queen. She is in the house, y'all. There she is, ladies and gentlemen.
And I ain't trying to say it's aliens, but I think it might be aliens.
Might be aliens.
Woo, but you know what? It's all right. All you need is just a little Jesus.
Come on. I wish I could zoom that in. But
you just need a little Jesus.
Hold it up a little bit first. Look,
you just need a little Jesus.
Yeah, everybody needs a little Jesus.
Everybody needs a little Jesus.
Everybody needs a little Jesus. Our sweet grandbabies just lay little Jesus around everywhere.
She
I got them in my truck.
And she wants y'all all to have a little Jesus.
Yes. Hey, let me see that. Let's see what we can do here.
Bub.
See what we can do. I'm going to make it, see if I can make it part of my, I'm going to put him right here.
You're going to perch Jesus on your microphone? Boom.
Look at there.
All right.
Every time you look at it. Now, the only thing is, I hope I don't make Jesus fall.
That's strong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to say? Respect. Much respect. Woo!
Well, are you excited to do another? Here we are again.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Monday night.
To present the news to my precious family.
Yes, our Big Picture family. Yeah. If you hadn't smashed that like button, what are you waiting on? Smash it. Please. It's the easiest way that you can help us. And when you smash that like button, if you're watching on Rumble, and by the way, I need to check because I'm using a new company.
Okay.
Because I want to see if I'm actually
do it
on Rumble right now. I'm a little bit nervous because it didn't show me earlier that we were on there. Stay with me for just a second. I need to double check something.
Do not check out. Everyone stay with us.
All right, looks like it's working.
Okay,
looks like it's working on Rumble.
All's well at this moment.
Rumble family, comment, let me know what it looks like out there because, I got tired of being kicked off of Rumble. And the other company I was with, I've been with them for years, and they would kick me off of Rumble, of all places. And I was like, They leave me on Facebook a lot of times to kick me off of Rumble. And I just began to realize I knew exactly what that was.
How weird is that? Anyway.
All right.
Anywho, we're back.
We're back. All right. So let's get into it tonight. Got a lot of news to cover. Like I said, if you just come in now, about halfway through, got a huge announcement of an upcoming guest this week. Sandy knows. She's the only one that knows. And it is big, y'all.
Big.
It is big.
It's huge.
It's huge. It's not Donald Trump. It's not Donald Trump. But Not yet. We may have some big announcements coming down the road tied to the Trump administration. That's all we can say. That's all we can say. There's some things working.
Step lightly. You're going to mess people up.
I know. There might be a possible interview.
What is he talking about?
Yeah, coming down the pike. Once I confirm it, I'll let you know. But, a lot of stuff. Oh, by the way, you already got a super chat. Thank you, super chat, Mr. Q.
All right.
Thank you so much. What
Maybe we can buy Sandy a new set of earbuds.
What's wrong with your earbuds? I just bought them. They're almost brand new.
I told you.
You tear up so much technology.
Nothing is torn up.
Well, then what's wrong?
They have so much coil in them, it's hard to keep them in my ears.
Oh, my goodness. If y'all only knew what I have to deal with this woman in technology.
Really? If you only knew what I had to deal with in general.
I mean, it's constantly, why's my phone not working? Where's my phone? You see my phone? Call it. It stopped working.
Time out. Anyway.
Okay.
The news. The news.
Oh, you're trying to change the subject? All right. So Kremlin is now warning that there's an inevitable escalation over Biden allegedly authorizing, and it's not alleged anymore, authorizing Ukraine long-range missile strikes. Now, most of you have already heard about this. The United States allowing its long-range tactical missiles to strike targets deep inside Russia for the first time would inevitably, this is in quotations, would inevitably lead to a serious escalation. Kremlin figures warn after Washington, D.C. appears to brief one of President Biden's final acts in office to permit such attacks. It goes on to say that Russia warned of dire consequences if Ukraine and long-range U.S.-made ATACMS. I'm gonna call them because you can't say ATACMS. Is it ATACMS? I guess so. Missiles to strike strategic targets deep inside the Federation. but also confidence it would be able to foil the attacks in the first place. The responses came after claims were published in the Beltway interest newspapers favored for leaks by the U.S. intelligence community. At the weekend, U.S. President Joe Biden would permit Ukraine to use the American Army Tactical Missile Systems, ATACMS, missile to strike targets. I think it's actually what you say, ATACMS. If not, I just invented it.
Right. As you've been known to do.
Yes, I've been known to do. But the bottom line is this. This is a major escalation. And that's why I say, we've been saying this for a long time, World War III is not coming. It's already here. And we're going to dig really deep into this in the next few minutes. But
so I don't know how deep you're going to go in any other part. Well, in any other article. But okay, so permission, come on. To what degree are we involved in this?
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah.
Probably not just allowing authorization, giving permission. Okay? Yeah. Our hands are probably a lot dirtier than what this article wants to admit to.
Yeah, I agree.
And so, whether this, thank you for those super chats.
We got two more fun birds and Lacey. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We're all up in this.
Yeah, we are.
It's just not good.
Yeah, Trump allies warned that Biden is risking World War III by authorizing long-range missiles for Ukraine. Ukraine can now target positions in the Kursk region where Russia has lined up some 50,000 troops. Now, what I want to go back to is how important this is, because this is also the area where it was 10,000, and now get this escalation. North Korea is now hinting and saying they could send up to 100,000 fighters from North Korea to help Russia after Putin's missiles crippled Ukraine's energy grid.
And it's so convenient with the train and all. I guess it's just no problem getting everybody there.
Nobody goes back to talk about the train ride. I mean, we covered it here. And in fact, I wished I could have thought to go back in time and find that article, because, I mean, now we know what that was about.
Now we understand.
That's exactly what that was about.
We could not have possibly conceived of what is falling into place at this moment. But my goodness, you're talking about a tenfold increase in the number of troops from North Korea?
North Korea. I don't think anybody, including us, even though our minds always go there, our minds did not go there. We were not thinking they're negotiating North Korean troops coming into the Ukrainian war. But now you think about this. We're talking about World War III. Yes. And I know when people hear that, they go, oh, God, there's hype, World War III. We ain't going to ever see World War III.
Well, if anybody out there was that far in advance of this story and you perceived what was cooking, what would be coming, like right now, I would love to know who you are, because I think Holy Spirit would have had to have spoken to you. Yeah. You would have had a prophecy, or you're super smart, because I did not see that at all.
But here we are, and now at the same time that they're talking about sending 100,000 troops from North Korea, then you're talking about Biden, who is the lame duck president. He's not the president, really. He's not been the president for a long time. And I'm going to show you tonight proof, Sandy,
let's do it,
that he didn't. There's no way possible that Joe Biden authorized the release of those missiles. He don't even know it's happened. It is the shadow government has decided we have to do this, not because we hate Russia, but because we hate Trump. And they want to officially start an escalated war of World War III
they want this
that we can't get out of and punish Trump.
So heated up before he even takes office, right?
So that he can't, because one of his promises was, I'm going to end this thing in less than 24 hours, and he's going to bring them to the negotiation table. Well, if you've got missiles going into Russia and killing Russian citizens, it's going to be very hard for Putin to come to the negotiation table. That's what this is about. That's what they understand. The fact that 100,000 North Korean troops are coming is because North Korea, and especially Vladimir Putin, understands I'm not at war with Donald Trump, and I'm really not even at war with America. I'm at war with a regime that wants to cause chaos. Yeah. So I got to have some help here, because the rumors are that there could be up to 1 million Russians have died. And that's just unbelievable, not to mention the Ukrainians that have died.
Yes.
And so now it's like, we need troops. So Little Kim is giving them 100,000 troops. What is he getting in return? I mean, he's so isolated. He's been in. Nobody's left North Korea in generations, and now you've got these people leave 100,000 soldiers going to leave their families and fight for another country. What has Putin promised Little Kim?
I know, and you know the numbers you're talking about. Even if it were half that in Russia, how in the world is that being tamped down and kept down from reporting here?
Yeah.
That's what kind of controls are in place to keep that from being in our news, even if it were only half. I mean, we don't know. We do not know the number.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, and several people are commenting on our studio and the Awake Not Woke. You can actually get your own copy. They love that Awake Not Woke. You can buy that at LarryRagland.tv and .com. Go to our store, and you can go into the store, and then you'll see other items. You can get bandanas, you can get stickers, you can get signs, different size signs that say Awake Not Woke, all that. So yeah, get yours today, and we appreciate you saying something about that. Let's watch it. This is Mike Huckabee, who is now the appointed ambassador to Israel, and he's going to comment on this.
That's great.
Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky is optimistic about the future with President-elect Trump returning to the White House. Here he is.
І ще раз підкреслюю, з політикою цієї команди, яка зараз очолить Білий дім, війна закінчиться швидше. Це їх підхід, це їх обіцянка їх суспільству. І для них це також дуже важливо.
The Wall Street Journal editorial board writes, left unsaid by the White House is that Mr. Biden is trying to strengthen Ukraine's position before he leaves office. Mr. Biden would like to fortify Ukraine by delivering all of the munitions Congress approved in its most recent aid package. The tragedy is that Mr. Biden has hamstrung Ukraine on the delivery and the usage of advanced weapons for so long. In focus now, Mike Huckabee, former Arkansas governor and the Trump administration ambassador to Israel nominee. Great to see you. Let's start right now with this idea that Biden's about to do this as he leaves office, and what does that mean for incoming policy? And that affects the whole world.
It really does, Harris. It's a little unusual that a president in his lame duck days of ending his reign as president would make major
By the way, this is as loud as I can make it. Sorry about that.
policy shifts. It just doesn't really ring as to why would he do this. Is it to somehow hamstring or make it difficult for the Trump administration? I don't know. But it's not a good look, and it's not a good act on his part. And I'm hoping that maybe he'll back off. If he does anything, he should find out what the Trump administration will be doing and try to make sure that he helps accommodate that. That's what we would have in what I would call a peaceful and also a smooth transition.
Oh, interesting.
Isn't that what we always hear about? This peaceful. Will you commit to a peaceful and smooth transition? Right. That is not a peaceful and smooth transition. That's why I say I go back to the day that just this past week.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
I mean, they are sitting there
By the fire.
Joe Biden is smiling from ear to ear saying, welcome back to the White House. There's rumors going around. People are almost insinuating that they think he voted for Donald Trump.
I know, crazy, right?
Who knows?
They're sitting there by the fire.
There's no way.
Sipping on their hot chocolates. Everything's so happy.
Yeah, so
and
that's what I'm saying.
cozy.
There's no way that he did this. I mean, I'm not saying that they're not capable of it.
But
I'm just of his radical ideas.
But also,
I think he's not involved.
The meeting happened first, then the announcement came after.
Right.
How convenient.
How convenient.
We got to look all happy and cheery to see each other, and then I'm dropping the hammer tomorrow after you've left.
Right. Yeah. So the question is World War III started? Well, let's look at this article here. This is from WorldNet Daily. Opinion piece, but I tend to agree with a lot that's in here. The emergence of World War III has already begun. Now is the time for confirming grand strategy to defend America and its allied democracies. This is from Real Clear, which is the mothership, if you will, of Real Clear Politics. Jamie Dimon, the CEO of J.P. Morgan Chase, recently said that World War III has already begun. You have battles on the ground being coordinated with multiple countries, end quote. How should the United States respond to this challenge? Dimon offered the following advice, quote, what we should be thinking about is we can't take the chance this will resolve itself. We have to make sure that we are involved in doing the right things to get it resolved properly, end quote. When someone of Jamie Dimon's stature highlights the present danger, Americans would be well advised to consider his assessment. In the context of China, Russia, this is a new term here that I've not heard.
Okay,
I'm going to start using it. In the context of China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea, i.e. crinks.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
No, I have not.
Okay, so when you hear us talk about crinks, you will know that's the axis of evil, or whatever you want to call it, of China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea.
This is the first article, us doing all the news articles that I've ever seen it in.
Okay, me too. Coordinating their assaults on the United States and its allies. Diamond does not discuss likely outcomes. Quote, I talk about the risk to us if those things go south. We run scenarios that would shock you. I don't even want to mention them. This is consistent with what we've been told.
Yes.
We have been told over and over again by people that we follow and by people that are literal people in the military that have told us personally what they have seen, the scenarios, and what he's talking about, what Diamond is talking about. He said, I don't even want to mention them. Why? Because if we looked good, you would mention them.
Yep, because they're so bad.
They're so bad.
Because the outcome is so bad.
We lose every time.
Every time.
Every single
time they run the scenario.
And it hurts Americans to say that, but he's saying it. Mm-hmm. Diamond does not mention one shocking feature of our current situation, Putin's threat to use nuclear weapons. What is the biggest risk that mankind faces? Diamond insists it's not climate change. This is J.P. Morgan now. You understand? People are saying things that used to be very risky to say. They're not holding back. This is the CEO of J.P. Morgan. He says the biggest risk that mankind faces, it's not climate change, it's nuclear proliferation.
Do you think it's some kind of cryptic way of warning the average person? Look, it's really late in the game. We are up to our necks in this. We're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
I realize I can't do anything to help you. I don't know if you can do anything to help yourself, but hey, be aware, be warned.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is. I really think it is. Because think about all the things that we talk about. By the time we know about it, they're already old news.
Yes.
If they allow us to know about it, it's because they feel safe for us to know about it. And so what do we not know about?
There's also this sick practice of letting the cat out of the bag, letting it be known through we talk about predictive programming a lot. If you do nothing, it's the same as you agreeing to it or accepting it. Who knows if he's not some agent of predictive programming as well. Or maybe he just really does love his country and fellow man. I don't know, but either way, I think the man is on to something.
Yeah. Article goes on to say, we have never had a situation where a man is threatening nuclear blackmail. If that doesn't scare you, it should. Diamond urges that the United States should, in effect, exercise prudence in formulating and implementing strategic plans. We've got to be very careful about what we're trying to accomplish in the next couple of years. Diamond's characteristics is at best just in time, at worst, too late.
Too little, too late.
On June 6, 2021, the anniversary of D-Day, it goes on to say that The Hill posted an essay in which they predicted the emergence of a four-front war breaking out along the maritime rim of Eurasia. Putin's Russia would attack Ukraine again. Hamas would attack Israel again. Iran would attack international shipping again. And China would take advantage of international chaos to blockade and attack Taiwan.
Well, they've almost completely blockaded Taiwan. They just aren't attacking it.
Yeah, and this was a predictive article
from 2021.
From 2021. I mean, think about that. Although the People's Republic of China has repeatedly threatened Taiwan by deploying naval assets in the Taiwan Strait and within Taiwan's territorial waters, the fourth front in our prediction has not yet escalated to blockade or an all-out war. An overall point was that the United States, in the aftermath of the Afghanistan disastrous withdrawal, was perceived as weak. Deterrence had been squandered. The U.S. was not prepared economically, militarily, and ideologically to cope with the new axis of autocratic extraterritorial regime.
Well, of course, we're not prepared. We're too worried about the boys going in the girls' bathroom and people transition, the children transitioning, and all of these other ridiculous things when we need to be worrying about national defense, about feeding people who are hungry, taking care of the veterans, and so on and so on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's finish this article. This is a very good article. While we are delighted, this is the author here, that Jamie Dimon has sounded the alarm that Eurasian geopolitical flashpoints are aflame, that the crinks are coordinating their assault on U.S. allies, the goal of policymakers in the United States should be to forestall the scenarios that are too shocking for Dimon to even mention. For instance, we have suggested actual strategies to restore U.S. deterrence through a program distributing the industrial capacity to build conventional weapons. Because the allies of the United States are threatened existentially with the use of nuclear weapons, a revision of the U.S. nuclear doctrine should now be considered. If amid an international crisis, the United States backs down each time an autocrat armed with nuclear weapons threatens their use, if retreat and appeasement become the standard response to nuclear blackmail, then allied and client powers that depend on American deterrence will abandon their military and other connections to the United States. What an article. I mean, that is just amazing, because that is exactly what's happening. And they're not just abandoning us militarily, they're abandoning our dollar, they're abandoning everything. Because, I mean, it is shocking how 3.5 and almost 4 years of policy of this current administration has literally destroyed the image of America globally.
Right. Weakened the economy, so on and so forth. So many things. And it started happening day one.
Yeah.
You know, there are so many things involving the border that need working on, but we can't find 300,000 children who have come through. We don't know. We still
Nobody
don't
talks
know
about that.
Where the 300,000 children are. We can't find them. What an absolute failure.
Absolutely.
I mean, my mind goes to the worst, darkest place as to where these children are.
Wow, yeah.
It's awful.
It's terrible. But speaking on the World War III, let's go back to what he said. I want to repeat that he said, think about it, the CEO of J.P. Morgan. This is not the Secretary of Defense, okay? This is the people that are connected globally, economically.
Yeah, he might know a few people and a few things, right?
Yeah, exactly. And he says, y'all, I've seen the numbers, and I don't even want to talk about what I have seen. We have heard over and over and over again that AI has now been integrated in these scenarios, and they are running the scenarios with every variable that you can imagine. And it hurts Americans to say this. In every one, America loses.
Yeah.
Badly, quickly. And it's like, it's because of the readiness. Now, that takes me to, I believe that they know that Donald Trump is going to try to rapidly change that. He is going to try to rapidly get us out of wars, and I think he's going to get the DEI mess out of our military, and where we're not recruiting sexual preference, we're recruiting actual people that want to serve the country and we build our military up. Now, granted, the man has only got 4 years, but he really don't have 4 years, because he really only has 3 years, because the last year goes full-blown politics for the next president. So he'll be sort of a lame duck after 3 years. So that's why he's trying to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Sandy, I think we need to bring in this was him on X, and I love this about him. He's just like, okay, say what you want to say. I'm just going to get on video and respond. I'm just going to tell you what I think about what you're doing. So this is Donald Trump, what he is saying about World War III. Think about this. This is the president-elect, number 47, is telling us we have never been as close to World War III than we are right now. Listen to the president.
We have never been closer to World War III than we are today under Joe Biden. A global conflict between nuclear-armed powers would mean death and destruction on a scale unmatched in human history. It would be nuclear Armageddon. Nothing is more important than avoiding that nightmare. We will avoid it, but we need new leadership. Every day this proxy battle in Ukraine continues, we risk global war. We must be absolutely clear that our objective is to immediately have a total cessation of hostilities. All shooting has to stop. This is the central issue. We need peace without delay. In addition, there must also be a complete commitment to dismantling the entire globalist neocon establishment that is perpetually dragging us into endless wars, pretending to fight for freedom and democracy abroad, while they turn us into a third world country and a third world dictatorship right here at home. The State Department, the defense bureaucracy, the intelligence services, and all of the rest need to be completely overhauled and reconstituted to fire the deep staters and put America first. We have to put America first. Finally, we have to finish the process we began under my administration of fundamentally reevaluating NATO's purpose and NATO's mission.
Wow.
Our foreign policy establishment keeps trying to pull the world into conflict with a nuclear-armed Russia based on the lie that Russia represents our greatest threat. But the greatest threat to Western civilization today is not Russia. It's probably, more than anything else, ourselves and some of the horrible USA-hating people that represent us. It's the abolition of our national borders. It's the failure to police our own cities. It's the destruction of the rule of law from within. It's the collapse of the nuclear family and fertility rates like nobody can believe is happening.
Wow.
It's the Marxists who would have us become a godless nation worshiping at the altar of race and gender and environment. And it's the globalist class that has made us totally dependent on China and other foreign countries that basically hate us. These globalists want to squander all of America's strength, blood, and treasure, chasing monsters and phantoms overseas while keeping us distracted from the havoc they're creating right here at home. These forces are doing more damage to America than Russia and China could ever have dreamed. Evicting the sick and corrupt establishment is the monumental task for the next president. And I am the only one who can do it. I'm the only one that can get the job done.
I think he's right. I think he's right.
Has to be done.
I think he is the only one.
He may be the only one. And
that's why they hate him so much. That's why they're trying to stop him.
Whoever has been writing these speeches and these little nuggets that he does on these videos, they're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Okay. They pretty quickly get to the point, and he pretty much stays on message when he's reading that teleprompter. So keep reading that teleprompter. You're doing a great job. But yeah, it makes me sick to think about the almost 4 past years of my life, all the time, all the energy, all the money we have spent, wasted on these stupid policies, all these executive orders, all of these things that have happened when we could have been using all of those resources to do good. It's just makes me so mad.
Red alert, red alert. We may be on the verge of a Sandy rant. We may be on the verge of a Sandy rant.
I'm tamping it down.
Prepare
I'm keeping
yourself.
it down. I'm keeping it down. I'm trying to keep it under control and in check. But all these
we don't want you to.
all of these news articles, it just makes that anger start churning inside of me. It brings back, and I'm sure it does for you guys, the memories of every time you got so angry and so mad because we were faced with these stupid, idiotic things.
Yep.
And it's not just that they were stupid.
Yep.
They were endangering our children and influencing our children.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, look what just happened today that nobody's hardly even talking about. Another cable has been cut. Right in the midst of, we authorize Ukraine to fire inside of the homeland of Russia, and an undersea cable between Germany and Finland has been severed. This is not the first time this has happened. These are major, major communications. It's shocking how many cables are under the water when
Exactly.
you see that. It's just crazy. Germany and Finland say that they are deeply concerned after an undersea cable linking the countries were severed. The rupture of the 730-mile telecommunications cable, which is being investigated, comes at a time of heightened tension with Russia. The two countries' foreign ministers said in a joint statement, our European security is not only under the threat of Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine, but also from hybrid warfare by malicious actors. Damage to pipelines in the Baltic Sea has raised fears of sabotage in recent years. Of course, we know in October of 23, a natural gas pipeline between Finland and Estonia was severely damaged. Finnish officials later said the incident had been caused by a Chinese container ship dragging the anchor. And German prosecutors are still investigating the explosion of the Nord Stream gas pipeline between Russia and Germany in 22. There have been conspiracy theories all around the attack, with unconfirmed rumors that either Ukrainian, Russian, or U.S. government was behind it. The latest incident involves a Sea Lion 1 fiber optic cable linking the Finnish capital, Helsinki, and the German city of Rostock. Finnish network operator Sania said all fiber connections in it had been cut. These kinds of breaks don't happen in these waters without outside impact, the spokesman said. So they
can't really identify exactly who did it.
Supposedly.
Right. Yeah.
I find that hard to believe, but supposedly. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you can farm that out to some militia group, rogue group to do it for you, but you probably have a pretty good idea of who was behind it.
Yeah, and going back to the pipeline that was exploded in 22. I mean, a lot of people, more and more people are saying that the United States may have even done it.
Oh, I've heard that multiple times.
I mean, it's
you're talking about the
Nord Stream. Nord Stream pipeline. Just to escalate more and more the oil situation with Russia and all this kind of stuff. But y'all, it hasn't stopped the war, and we don't know what's going to happen. And we say again, we talk about it on this show all the time. We don't know what to believe about this war.
No.
I mean, because we don't see anything from this war. Nothing. I want to ask you again, Big Picture family, please tell me if there is a site that you follow, let me back up. If there is a mainstream news organization that normally covers wars, okay, that embeds in reporters inside the war, like we always have had in every war.
Grown up watching.
Yeah. Tell me, please, in the comments, in the live chat or in the comments, where I can go to watch the embedded reporters and the daily updates of what is actually happening in this war. Because I can't find it.
Or if any of you out there can get in touch with Geraldo. He used to love doing that.
I don't want to hear nothing from Geraldo.
He used to love playing war correspondent.
Geraldo's lost his mind.
He has lost his mind, but maybe he could send some pictures back. I don't know.
Geraldo, we need new information. We need new material. Nobody. A lot of these people that watch our show, they know who Geraldo is. I say that at my church all the time. I'm going to walk around with this microphone. I'm going to be Geraldo. And people look at me like, these young people be like, who's Geraldo?
Who's Geraldo?
We need new material.
True.
Well, in staying on the war front, and we're going to get to the UFOs in just a minute, Sweden is now telling their citizens to prepare for war. 5 million households got pamphlets on how to get their home ready for nuclear Armageddon as Biden is accused of trying to start World War III. Goes on to say that Sweden is sending out 5 million pamphlets to residents urging them to prepare for the possibility of war, with instructions on how to stockpile food and even seek shelter during a nuclear attack, as fears grow of a conflict between Russia and NATO. Since the start of the Ukraine war, Stockholm has repeatedly urged Swedes to prepare both mentally and logistically for a possible conflict, citing the worsening security situation in its vicinity. It comes as tensions between Moscow and the West have escalated to new heights after Joe Biden gave Kiev the green light to blast targets deep inside Russia with U.S.-supplied long-range missiles, which Donald Trump's son has criticized as making sure, quote, they get World War III going before my father has a chance to create peace, end quote. The booklet, quote, If Crisis or War Comes, end quote, sent out by the Swedish Civil Contingencies Agency, contains information on how to prepare for emergencies such as war, natural disasters, cyber attacks, and terrorism. In an insecure world requires preparedness. The military threat to Sweden has increased, and we must prepare for the worst, an armed attack. So they're basically telling them Russia's coming.
So at the bottom of this article, it said something about subways and basements and all that. So my thought is this: are they like Switzerland is, where they already have so many underground facilities, tunnels, caverns, caves?
I haven't heard that.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
And I'm sure that's not your optimal living conditions. Hopefully, it is there and you could survive if you had to go underground. But by contrast, we don't have hardly any of that. Russia has underground areas where their citizens can go for safety by the tens or hundreds of thousands or up to millions of people.
Right.
What do we do in this country for our people?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It goes on to say, shelter provides the best protection. After a couple of days, the radiation has decreased significantly. Talking about take cover in basements, where's that? Basically get underground. Basically, what they're saying.
And these are, this is older area. I mean,
I think Sweden just joined NATO, didn't they?
I don't remember.
I think they just were the most recent person.
But the point is, there's probably a lot more infrastructure there for people in that part of the world for safety, even if it's a temporary situation. Like you said, radiation dissipates a good bit over even, 3 days to a week.
Yeah, the reason they're saying this is because with pulling out NATO, is Sweden officially joined NATO March 7th, 2024. So so they're in NATO. So there again, what they're saying is they're hyping that, and I'm not saying it's just hype. It could be factual that their intelligence. They're afraid that they're going to be attacked by Russia. And there again, let's remind you, the NATO charter says if any NATO nation is attacked, all of NATO is attacked. Yep. That pulls all NATO into it. And that's why we say that little by little by little, more and more and more evidence is coming that World War III is on their minds. Whether President Trump can stop it or not.
Whether these countries even want it, the puppet masters, the bad actors, the deep state that's really part of the whole earth, they're going to attempt to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And force leaders of these countries to, bend their will, threaten their life, their family's life, whatever they have to do to get done what they want done.
And I think it was either the day after they declared Trump the president-elect, I think he called Putin and told Putin, do not escalate this. We're going to try to figure something out. Do not escalate this. And from what the intelligence has said, he was like, I don't want to escalate this. I want to end this. Well, then all of a sudden, he gets blindsided.
Exactly.
Now he's being told, hey, this country called America is just been released, Ukraine, to fire inside of us and escalate on us. What do you expect me to do?
How about, he's not the only person that got blindsided. We all got blindsided.
Yeah, right.
We live here.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep it down.
Keep it down. Don't keep it down. We want the rent. We want the rent. We like it when Sandy goes big picture wow. That's what we're going to call it.
Okay.
All right. So one of the main things that and don't go anywhere, because in just a minute we're gonna translate this show from World War III to UFO disclosure how they are tied together. And if you came in late, let me just tell you that at the same point, right when we go into that, talking about all this UFO disclosure stuff, we have a huge announcement of a show that's coming up Thursday night that we're going to tell you more about in just a moment. It's going to be massive, y'all. It's going to be. I think I'm as excited about this show as any show that we've ever done, and we'll tell you about it in a minute. But we still got the border crisis, that we're talking about. And that's one of the main reasons that Donald Trump was reelected with a landslide mandate is because they want him to get control of this border. Well, now watch this. Trump administration is preparing to declare a national emergency and is saying that he will use the military assets to reverse Joe Biden's border invasion. Y'all, it's about to get crazy. I'm telling you, it's about to get crazy in this country. This is big news. On Monday morning, President Trump retweeted an earlier report from Tom Fenton of Judicial Watch. On November 8th, 2024, 3 days after the Republican sweep of the presidency, Senate and House Republicans representatives, Fenton posted, good news. Reports of the incoming real Donald Trump administration prepared to declare a national emergency and used military assets to reverse the Biden invasion through a mass deportation program. Donald Trump retweeted it and said, true. So he confirmed, yes, that the Trump administration is planning by executive order to declare a national emergency, which, by the way, it is a national emergency.
Yes, it is.
And will use military assets to reverse the Biden invasion through a mass deportation program. A new report by the House Judiciary Committee released in October found that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden let in at least 1.7 million potential national security threats into the country. That's on the national security list, 1.7 million. So that's not how many came in.
No.
That's those that are listed on the national security threat list.
This is unbelievable.
That's insane.
What?
That's insane, y'all. What in the world? And think about this, 70-something million people voted for the administration to come back, supposedly.
Yes.
Thank God they didn't win. Since January 2021, millions of illegal aliens have taken advantage of President Joe Biden's and border czar, Vice President Kamala Harris' open border policy to enter the United States. In just over 3.5 years, the Biden administration has welcomed into the country 7.6 million illegal aliens. We've heard 10 to 13 million is more accurate, including at least 1.9 million known illegal alien gotaways. Among those largely unvetted aliens are at least 382 illegal aliens on the U.S. government's terrorist watch list who have been encountered by Border Patrol along the southwest border since January 21, with 100 watch list aliens encountered so far in fiscal 2024.
And let's reiterate here. These are people that are coming from all over the world.
Yes.
This is 140 different nations, different nationalities. We're not talking about just one group of people. They're coming from everywhere. But where is the humanity? Where is the humane practice of not keeping up with young, innocent children who cannot protect themselves? And now we supposedly don't know where at least that many are.
Yeah, yeah.
The criminals that are coming in that are threatening the safety of American citizens, the possibility that we're not going to be able to house or feed or provide medical care for the citizens, let alone all of the newcomers.
Yes.
This is, you have no, what is the phrase? Without borders, you don't have a
country.
You have no real nationality.
If you don't have a border, you don't have a country.
And this is not being heartless. This is trying to use common sense to take care of everyone across the board.
Yes, absolutely.
If you can't keep up with 300,000 or more children, you're not using compassion.
No.
You're just not.
Well, let's just go ahead and get a little madder.
Oh, yay.
In October, ICE released a shocking report on the illegal aliens and sex abusers released into the U.S. And by the way, that's this administration's ICE. So you have to take that with a grain of salt, that if they're saying this, how much worse really is it? Mm-hmm. It says that illegal aliens and abusers released into the U.S. According to the report from the Deputy Director of ICE, sent to Congressman Tony Gonzalez, over 662,000 illegal immigrants with criminal histories are currently on ICE's national docket. Of that staggering number, over 13,000 illegal immigrants have been convicted of homicide, and more than 15,000 have been convicted of assault. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security, under the direction of Alejandro Mayorkas, my goodness, I'm counting the days that he's gone, did not assess the risk associated with releasing millions of non-citizens without identification in the United States and allowing them to travel on domestic flights. Since Joe Biden opened the U.S. southern border on the first day in office, more than 10 million illegal aliens have entered the United States. Another 1.2 million inadmissible aliens were flown into the country at ports of entry through the Biden-Harris CBP-1 policy. There is no country in history that has welcomed such a massive invasion of criminal aliens through their borders on purpose.
Right.
Of course, the United States will never be the same again. It will take decades for America to work through all the destruction the Biden regime has done to this country.
I believe
President Trump has the right idea. This is a national emergency.
Yep. I believe that.
Wow. Oh, man.
Right. I mean, look at all of the immigrants that have come in. And now, you know, if it's that we just can't take care of them and help provide for them, or the criminal element, you can see this easily just being dropped at Trump's feet.
Yes.
And blaming him as they somehow find a in around way to blame him for everything that they do.
Yeah, yeah. Although, what is it, 12 of the last 16 years, is that right, that the Democrats have been president? 12 of the last 16 years, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's only been president 4 years out of.
I don't know if it's the last.
It's 12 years out of the last 16 years.
Of the last 16 years.
Then it was Obama.
Yeah.
And then it was Trump, and then it was Biden. So it's like, so out of the last 16 years, only 4 of those 16 years was a Republican president.
Exactly.
But yet he gets blamed for all the mess that we're in, the economy, the border, everything.
Yep.
One president out of 4 presidents, 12 of the last 16 years has been democratically controlled. And then they want to blame him for everything.
Well, you know, he's been on a roll with appointing the different people for the cabinet positions and doing all these talks and little short videos talking about everything he's going to do, how he's going to improve everything and change everything. And it seems that they are working feverishly behind the scenes to be ready on day one.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I say don't slow down. Don't tap the brakes. I know the holidays are coming. Just keep working while all of these liberals are getting triggered and making their screaming and crying videos, and they're distracted because they, you know, need to go into counseling or whatever it is they're doing. Keep working while they're running around here wanting to.
Yeah, I agree. And I think they are. I think he's not playing, y'all. He's not playing.
Good.
And the people that surrounding him is not playing.
Good.
And but I'm gonna tell you something else. The deep state ain't playing either. They are not going quietly. They are not going easily. They are coordinating. And let me tell you something. The deep state also has a lot of Republicans in it. And you know, Mitch McConnell's already said he's already fighting him. In the rhinos are already fighting him.
You're right. And we've talked about that a lot here. We talk about those neocons. We talk about, you know, all those people that they appear to be, they appear to be almost as liberal as some of the Democrats.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But look, already it's working. Look at this. Haitian migrants are reportedly fleeing Springfield, Ohio. We heard all about Springfield, Ohio, but they're fleeing in droves over mass deportation fears.
Yeah.
Haitian migrants are reportedly fleeing Springfield, Ohio in droves over deportation fears following President-elect Donald Trump's election win. Trump has singled out the town, which is overrun with migrants, by saying that they were eating people's pets. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats up in here, that song. During a presidential debate in September, in Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in, they're eating the cats, said Trump. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. The soundbite was remixed into a song that went massively viral on TikTok. And says one whose family is Haitian said that people are self-deporting. Some folks don't have credit cards and access to the internet, and they want to buy a bus ticket or a plane ticket, so we help them book a flight. She told The Guardian, people are leaving. The owner of one store is wondering if he should move back to New York or to Chicago. He says his business is way down. The Guardian reports leaders in Springfield's Haitian community and others have relayed reports of Haitians fleeing the city of 60,000 people in recent days of fear being rounded up and deported after Trump's victory in November 5th. It says the co-founder of the Haitian Community Alliance, who runs a business that includes helping Haitians in Springfield to file tax returns, said, quote, people are fully aware of the election result, and that is why they are leaving. They are afraid of a mass deportation. Several of my customers have left. One guy with his family went to New Jersey. Others have been to Boston. I know 3 families that have gone to Canada. Some are thought to have moved to nearby cities such as Dayton, where they believe they would be less visible to law enforcement. Others who have temporary asylum in Brazil are pondering going back to the South American country, community leaders said. So, of course, this talks about incoming border czar Tom Homan recently suggested that criminal illegal aliens and gang members should self-deport. Because,
He sure did.
yeah, he said, because we know who you are and we are going to find you. While we're out prioritizing the public safety threats and national security threats, if you want to self-deport, you should self-deport. Because, again, we know who you are and we're going to come and find you. So if you want to self-deport, that's fine. But criminals and gang members, they get no favors from this administration. You came to this country illegally, which is a crime. You committed crimes against the United States citizens, some heinous crimes. You get no grace period. So we're coming for you. And then he goes on to say, making himself very clear, Holman said that those who have not committed crimes beyond their illegal border crossing can, quote, put everything in order and leave with their family altogether. Asked about the logistics of the deportations, Holman said criminals would be put on an airplane to their country of origin.
Wow.
Is that really going to happen?
You know, ever since I first heard that, I've been mulling that over in my mind. Can they? Will they really do this?
Wow.
That's a lot of strong talk. We'll have to wait and see, right?
Well, let's listen to him.
Let's do it.
Criminals and gang members get no grace period. But while we're out prioritizing the public safety threats and national security threats, if you want to self-deport, you should self-deport. Because, again, we know who you are, and we're going to come and find you. So if you want to self-deport, that's fine. But criminals and gang members, they get no favors from this administration. You came to this country illegally, which is a crime. You committed crimes against the United States citizens, some heinous crimes. You get no grace period, so we're coming for you. But for those others, the non-criminals, if you want to self-deport, I'm all for it. Because when they self-report, they can put their orders, put everything in order, their family business, if they got homes or whatever, they can put all that in order and leave with their family altogether. It makes perfect sense for the ones that are not criminals and not pirates.
How are they going to get home? How do they get home?
Well, the ones who are going home, the rest of them won't put on an airplane and send them home. And the ones that want to go home on their own, they found their way across the world to come to the greatest nation on earth. They can find their way home. Either that, or I'll give them a free airline ticket that we put them on our airplane and we'll take them home. It's either way. It's up to them. If we arrest them, they come on our airplane, Sean. If they want to go on their own airplane, I welcome it.
Let me.
Wow. That dude is beast mode.
It's like, you have a grace period to move on your own, gather your family members, gather your belongings, get yourself in order, and take yourself back home by whatever way you choose. But if you wait too long, you're going to go on my terms.
Yeah. He's like, you found your way in, find your way out.
Yeah.
And well, I'm going to let you find your way out. But if you just like to fly in a nice airplane, I'll help you. I mean, y'all, there's just this great thought, this great thought in my mind. Will they be able to do that? It seems so impossible.
It does.
And I'm not just sitting there. Look, I know these are human beings. Okay,
yes.
We understand these are human beings.
Yes.
We're not sitting there going, "Oh yeah, do this to these human beings." No, we're just talking about we got to bring this country back being a country. It just seems almost impossible to me.
We have to bring some things back into order. You can't have this total chaos, total out of control situation all over the country like it was in Ohio.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
I keep
that
going,
they denied was even real.
I keep going back to the video of the woman talking about burning mattresses in her front yard.
Yeah.
I can't go outside. I'm, basically scared to death 24/7 to leave my home, to even stay in my home. We can't do this.
No.
I mean, because
it's not sustainable.
It's that right now. It's only going to escalate if it's not addressed. And to see that story about some of the immigrants deciding to go ahead and self-deport out of that very same city that we're talking about, it feels like maybe it's some relief for the citizens there.
Yeah.
Maybe they can get a little peace and not be on edge 24/7 and begin to resume normal life at some point.
Well, they even said the mass group, what do they call that? The
surge.
The surge that was getting ready to come across when Trump won, half of them turned around and went back.
I heard that. If it is going to be the way that is being presented that there is going to be deportation, mass deportation, whatever, sure, it's probably better that you go ahead and turn around on your own and go back to the safety of where you came from. Maybe it wasn't perfect. It's not perfect here.
Yeah.
You probably didn't have everything you wanted, which is why you were attempting to come into this country illegally.
Yeah.
But yes, go back.
And you know, the crazy thing is how many American Democratic governors and mayors are saying, we will fight you if you come into our city and into our state and try to take our illegal aliens away.
Right.
We will fight you in court, and we'll use our National Guard. You know, they're saying now the Arizona National Guard, Arizona mayor, governor, that just today said, no, I watched her. She goes, you do not control my National Guard. My National Guard will stand against you if you try to come in here. So it's like American governors and mayors are saying, yeah, you want a civil war? We'll do it. We'll have a civil war over illegal aliens.
There you go, right there. This is exactly what I've been thinking about. What does that look like if certain cities, or God forbid, entire states resist?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, are we going to the streets? Is that what it is?
I think that's what they're threatening. They're threatening that. They're saying, come on, try it.
That's going to be a sad day. That is going to be a sad day if it comes to that in this country.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to see that even over this kind of issue. I pray something else can be worked out.
Continuing on the Trump administration, how they are literally driving the liberals insane in the deep state. Trump transition team is compiling a list of current and former U.S. military officers, officers for possible court-martial. All of the officers were involved in the chaotic U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, which independent reviews have blamed on both the Trump and Biden administration, according to NBC News here. It says the Trump transition team is compiling a list of senior, current, and former U.S. military officers who were directly involved in the withdrawal from Afghanistan and exploring whether they could be court-martialed for their involvement, according to U.S. official and a person familiar with the plan. Officials working on the transition are considering and creating a commission to investigate the 21 withdrawal from Afghanistan, including gathering information about who was directly involved in the decision-making for the military, how it was carried out, and whether the military leaders could be eligible for charges as serious as treason. They're taking it very seriously, the person with knowledge of the plan said. The Trump transition team did not immediately respond to requests from comment. Matt Flynn, a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Counter-Narcotics and Global Threats, is helping lead the effort, the sources said. It is being framed as a review of how the U.S. got into the war in Afghanistan and how it ultimately withdrew. So that's pretty interesting.
Okay, let's don't leave this story. Let's talk a minute about just some of the things that come to your mind. 13 lives lost.
Yep.
Multiple citizens left in the country.
Abandoned.
Just figure out how to survive. Figure out how to get yourself out of this war zone, out of this country, into another country, and maybe you can make it back home. How many billions of dollars of equipment left in that country?
Yeah, exactly. Do you know that...
Triggered. You're triggering me.
Hey, did you know that Glenn Beck had personal pilots
I remember talking about
into
this.
Afghanistan and saving Americans.
Getting people out. I remember
Americans
this.
out when our military was left them.
Yes.
That is sickening.
It is sickening.
And it's like they just moved on. Yeah. I remember when they had a press conference saying, we can't guarantee you.
This is what it was like. Oops.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there was a few left there. Stay safe.
Big mix-up.
Stay safe.
Best wishes to you.
Yeah. Yeah. The sources apparently pushing this story appear to be from Washington, D.C. insiders claiming to gain better positioning for their own administration job, set of personal knowledge of the campaign. President-elect Donald Trump has condemned the withdrawal as a humiliation and the most embarrassing day in the history of our country. I would agree. If militarily, it was one of the most embarrassing moments in the history of our country.
It was awful.
Now let's talk about DOGE.
Yay.
DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, shares obscene examples of government waste, nearly 1 million, to just simply see if cocaine makes Japanese quail more sexually promiscuous.
Okay. I can see the need for that.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. So the soon-to-be-formed Department of Government Efficiency, otherwise known as DOGE, led by ex-owner and Tesla CEO Elon Musk and entrepreneur and former presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy, shared some examples of obscene government waste on Monday, so Americans can have some clear examples of what needs to be cut. DOGE shared a clip of Senator Rand Paul's widely known for his annual Festivus Government Waste Report. I've watched these before every year, walking through some of the most shocking ways the U.S. government has wasted tax dollars. Let's just watch the little video here that he's got of when he was, I think this was last year.
Gin to a sunfish versus tequila, which would make the sunfish more aggressive? Nearly $1 million spent studying whether or not Japanese quail, if you give them cocaine, whether or not they're more sexually promiscuous. Was it one small step for man?
Listen to
or
this.
was it one small step for a man? And in the end, $750,000 later, they couldn't decide. Was it?
Do you understand what you just heard? Our government spent $750,000 investigating, trying to go back and look at the film to see if we said one small step for man or one small step for a man.
Crucial scientific experiment, right?
Almost $1 million. And when they were all said and done, they was like, we don't know. We still don't know.
We don't know.
Well, you know, some people say that we wasn't even there. One small giant step for a Hollywood studio.
One step for man, one step for a man. $2 million for the construction of a kelp and shellfish nursery in Maine. $1.5 million to encourage video gaming in New York. We might be better off spending $1.5 million to discourage kids from playing video games. $388,000 for Columbia University. Be giving a rich university that has $13 billion any money. $249,000 for the Baltimore Symphony. Give money to all the symphonies and we'd make them part of government.
Wow. $100,000 to see if tequila or gin makes sunfish more aggressive. When will a sunfish ever have a choice between a tequila or gin? This is our government. This is your tax dollars.
Well,
and that's what DOGE is going to be talking about and what they're going to be looking at.
They're going to straighten this mess out.
I wish I could find that tweet where DOGE talked about the generals that I read to you the other night. Remember that? All the 4-star generals at the Pentagon? There was hundreds of them. And each one of them had 2,000 employees and each
budgets that they received.
And each one of them, there was like $1.5 million that each one of them had to spend on whatever they wanted to spend on.
Right.
And think about who almost was, they projected was going to be the president, Kamala Harris. She spent $1.5 billion in less than 3 months. Yeah. And she's $20 million in debt.
Right.
Paid $20 million here, $30 million here for people to stand up in the podium and endorse her. And this was supposed to be the one that was going to run, turn the page. Y'all, this is why they hate Donald Trump, because he don't play the game. Yeah.
Do you imagine some of those vendors or whoever is still owed those, how many millions did you say? 20?
There's still $20 million, and they're still sending out fundraising emails to raise money to pay for the $20 million.
Exactly. Do you imagine some of those people are not going to get paid?
Yeah.
They're just going to have to suck it up and go on.
But think about how much they got paid. Think about this. Out of that, do you know how much they spent on salaries in 90 days?
I shudder.
3.6. Y'all ready? $360 million. 360 something million dollars. I think it was $363 million on salaries.
Well, I know, and I don't know how this happened to me, but my phone was getting blown up every day with text messages
from Kamala.
And I'm like, how did I get on this list?
Wow, I didn't know that.
So, okay, television commercials and all of these different avenues of advertising. That stuff costs a lot of money.
It does.
A lot of money.
Well, look, this is one of the things that Doge is going to be taking care of. Look at this. How did they get away with this? The Pentagon has flunked their 7th straight audit. They cannot, again, for the 7th year in a row, account for billions of dollars. They cannot fully account, once again, for $824 billion budget. On November 12th, President-elect Donald Trump announced that Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk with Republican candidate Ramaswamy will lead the Doge. And it goes on to say, if there's a better example of urgent need of Doge, is no less than the one that follows the link below. I'm aware of what it is. It is reported that Friday that the Pentagon, the nation's largest government agency, failed, listen, its 7th audit in a row, still unable to fully account for its more than $824 million budget. Worry not, suggested Pentagon officials who stressed that they're making good progress towards a clean audit in 2028.
Okay.
Why would you even say that?
Okay.
2028? Something tells me in the minds of Elon and Vivek, more than 4 years isn't good enough. It says, earned a disclaimer of opinion, meaning it failed to provide sufficient information to auditors to form an accurate opinion. So the bottom line is this. Let's go back to this headline here. For the 7th straight year, the number one budgeted item in the United States government failed an audit to tell you where they sent their money.
So here's a question that I have. We're going to get fully into this a little bit later in the show, but you know all of those unacknowledged programs?
Yes. Black budgets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wonder, and you know, a lot of people, some of you will know, some of you won't realize that a lot of illegal, seedy things have to go on, like growing the poppy over in Afghanistan to fund these secret black budget programs. I'm sure even doing all of those things, probably drugs and guns and maybe even the sex trade to keep it going, is not enough to pay for all the expense of these unacknowledged programs. So maybe they're still dipping in the till a little bit to help cover their many and vast expenses. And that's why we can't balance this budget.
Yep, you own it. You own it. But I'm going to tell you, there's this feeling that the people that called him Hitler and all this kind of stuff, there's sort of a turning. Have you noticed all the Trump dances that all the athletes are doing? You know, they used to, it was all about kneeling during the national anthem and all this.
Yes.
Now you got athletes doing the Trump dance, and the guy that just won the UFC championship the other night, he done the dance after he thanked Jesus and took his belt over there and gave his belt to Donald Trump and did the Trump dance in front of him. I mean, it's like people are coming out of the woodwork. And then I wake up this morning did not have this on my bingo card.
Okay.
Morning Joe hosts come out this morning. You know, the one that likened Trump to Hitler, now desire an open dialogue with him and visited Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
Did you hear about this?
Well, I was in a group text that we both got from a friend.
Okay.
I say, what is going on?
Yeah.
Does this scream of desperation?
Absolutely. Morning Joe co-host Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski announced on Monday they opened a line of communication, with Hitler. So, that's what you want to do is open with Hitler or Mussolini. The meeting undermines their previous claims that Trump is a threat to democracy, a fascist, and going on full-on Hitler. Quote, I've said for years on the air and in print, 90% of what you see on networks just like this is all performance art, Joe Concha posted on X. Because why else would Joe and Nika want to reset their relationship with someone that they repeatedly called a fascist for 8 years? Totally phony people. Let me see if I got the video of it. Don't know. Okay, here we go. Here's the video of them. It's what we like to say down here in the South, eating crow.
Over the past week, Joe and I have heard from so many people, from political leaders to regular citizens, deeply dismayed by several of President-elect Trump's cabinet selections.
Did they decide to wear warm-up suits
and they are scared
to work that day?
Look, you're right. They're both matching.
I mean, okay, we're going to change our tone and our attire for this.
You know they're married.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, they're married.
And I've told you before, her father
Yeah.
was named Zygmunt Brzezinski.
Do you know she mentions her father in this?
Well, hey,
Yeah.
because he was,
Yeah.
I don't know if he was an analyst, an advisor, but he was all up in
Oh,
the
yeah.
government.
Oh, she mentions how
in a former administration.
how in her childhood she remembers him trying to reach across the table and stuff. Listen to this. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Here we go.
Last Thursday, we expressed our own concerns on this broadcast and even said we would appreciate the opportunity to speak with the president-elect himself. On Friday, we were given the opportunity to do just that. Joe and I went to Mar-a-Lago to meet personally with President-elect Trump. It was the first time we have seen him in 7 years.
Now, we talked about a lot of issues, including abortion, mass deportation, threats of political retribution against political opponents, and media outlets. We talked about that a good bit. And it's going to come as no surprise to anybody who watches this show, has watched it over the past year or over the past decade, that we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of issues, and we told him so.
What we did agree on was to restart communications. My father often spoke with world leaders with whom he and the United States profoundly disagreed. That's a task shared by reporters and commentators alike. We had not spoken to President Trump since March of 2020, other than a personal call Joe made to Trump on the morning after the attempt on his life in Butler, Pennsylvania. In this meeting, President Trump was cheerful, he was upbeat, he seemed interested in finding common ground with Democrats on some of the most divisive issues. And for those asking why we would go speak to the president-elect during such fraught times, especially between us, I guess I would ask back, why wouldn't we? 5 years of political warfare has deeply divided Washington and the country. We have been as clear as we know how in expressing our deep concerns about President Trump's actions and words in the coarsening of public debate. But for nearly 80 million Americans, election denialism, public trials, and January 6th were not as important as the issues that moved them to send Donald Trump back to the White House with their vote. Joe and I realize it's time to do something different. And that starts with not only talking about Donald Trump, but also talking with him.
Y'all, I promise you that
hurt.
That made them want to literally almost throw up on the air to have to do that. And the people that follow them are freaking out.
She's trying to read that teleprompter like a champ out there.
Yeah.
But listen, I've tried to watch them one morning quite a while ago, and I'm telling you right now, I'm going to confirm what all of you are. They are a tool of the deep state and very highly inspirational in this, what I call mass psychosis that has come over this country of why these people think the way they do and how they are so easily triggered. They are just following what these two do.
Yeah.
They're tools. I'm sorry. They're tools.
They sure are. They sure are. And you know, I love the part where she goes, for those of you who would ask why, well, I would say, why not? And then I want to just jump right in there and say, well, do you think anyone would, in the throes of everybody knowing who Hitler really was, not when people didn't know where he was going, he was just this tyrant, but when you knew who he was, you knew what he was doing, and you called him out for the evils of what he was doing as the Hitler that we now know, do you think anyone on any news organization would ever say, look, okay, he won re-election in Germany, he's a world leader, I went over to Berlin and I sat down and talked with him, and I thought we need to restart communications because, you know, we need to be able to work together for the common good of the country, of the world. No one would have done that. So that it shows what you're talking about. It is just the fakery. They're just actors.
Yes.
They're just saying what they're told.
Could you all not see just then? She's clearly reading a teleprompter,
absolutely.
words that she didn't write.
She didn't write them. She was
given a script and told to read it, do the best you can, because this is what's happening, sister. And if you want to keep your job, you better do what the bosses upstairs are telling you to do.
Speaking of her job, it come out this week that since Trump won, they have plummeted so much, CNN and MSNBC, that some of their mainline shows, get this, y'all verify this. I'm not exaggerating the numbers. Some of them are only getting 35,000 viewers. 35,000. Some of their biggest ones is only getting 50 and 60,000. That's not even a football stadium.
What tracking they use that they can...
The Nielsen ratings and all that. The ratings.
But still, I didn't see that number, but I'll tell you what I did see. I saw, and I wish I had thought to send you this article, multiple names of known hosts of shows on CNN and MSNBC whose heads were headed to the chopping block to get rid, because they can't afford all of these people anymore because of the viewers are not tuning in.
Yeah, and wow. Yeah, that's where we're at. So look, this is, I started to say lighthearted because it's funny, but I feel bad that it's funny because I don't like making fun of Joe Biden. Okay, no, but y'all...
He is still our president.
He's still our president.
We still respect the office of president of this country.
But I have to show you this because I don't think you've seen this because this was added at the last minute.
I think I've heard about it, but no, I have not seen it.
So I'm just going to read the article. Oh, my God. Reporters are shocked over a confused Joe Biden who missed the G20 family picture with world leaders. Okay, the family picture is there. This is the one they all go to get in. This is the money shot. This is when all the nations come together and take this big group picture, and then they went ahead. I've got a video I'm going to show you. They hold their hands up, and they show that the world is united against hunger and poverty. Y'all, Joe Biden was wandering around in the back under a palm tree while they were taking the picture. Joe Biden is not in that picture. Reporters were shocked as Joe Biden was absent from the photo. One reporter says, "Where's Biden? Where was he?"
Yeah.
Oh, my God. The reporter is heard saying after the family picture of the world leaders was taken without Joe Biden. So a reporter said, "He's right there." No, he's behind the palm tree.
Are we so done with
Unbelievable.
Are we so done with him? Do we have so little care and respect for him that nobody could stay with him long enough to make sure he got into the picture?
They're taking a picture, boss. Come on. This is why we came. Biden, with his mouth agape, was spotted next to Canada's Justin Trudeau after missing the family photo. So look, watch this. Watch this. This is why they go to these things, just for this picture.
Sure.
Now watch, they're telling them, hold the hands up, sign of world unity. I mean, you got every world leader that you can imagine, every country. The United States of America is not there.
Who's in the middle right there? Mm-hmm.
Who was it? I didn't say.
G.
Oh, G. I mean, the United States of America is not in the picture.
Is that not G? Would they pan back towards the middle?
I don't think it's G.
Maybe not.
No, that is him. That is G. I didn't think he can. That is G.
How sad. How pathetic. If we didn't have enough ammunition, if they didn't have enough ammunition against us already, reason to make fun of us, reason to question us, really?
Watch this. Let's play it because I want you to hear the reporter.
It's just a few more days. Can we not hold it together for a few more days?
Listen. They start trying to find the shot. They're trying to find him
to get him over there. Don't leave.
No. They're trying to find him to give him credit. They want to put him on the video. They're scanning the crowd to give him video to help him, and that's when they realize
he's not even there.
They can't find him. And you hear the reporter.
Far left to the left of the palm tree. Oh my God.
Far left to the left of the palm tree. Oh my God.
Yep. He's right there.
He's right there.
Joe's behind the palm tree right
Joe's
now.
behind the palm tree. You mean the president of the United States?
Wow.
Mm-mm.
Now that is not the only time he was humiliated. Watch this.
Oh, there's
Joe
more.
Biden's humiliation on the world stage continues. Biden, this is the the most powerful man in the world, supposedly.
Supposedly.
Biden was put in the corner. And I want to ask a simple question. I know that Trump is not everything, but I want to ask a simple question. Do you think there is anywhere in any world of Donald Trump that he would have accepted this? Yeah. Watch this. Biden was put in the corner of the APEC conference family photo over the weekend, while Chinese President Xi Jinping was honored with a position on the front row next to Lima's president where the conference was being held. He's in the back, second from the right in the back. That's the president of the United States.
Trump would have stood up for himself and the United States of America and said, no.
Yeah, you ain't putting America in the back row.
No.
Look, you got Trudeau on the front, you got Xi Jinping on the front, and you got America in the back row. Y'all, that's unbelievable to me. There is no way.
No way.
No way. Let me also say this. Give credit where credit. There's no way Obama would have allowed that.
No.
There's no way any president would have ever allowed that.
Exactly. Or, if not him, those around him.
Yeah. Yeah, your point is excellent, because that's what I'm wondering is, why is no one going up and going, hey, guys, wait a minute,
exactly.
This is the president of the United States.
Why are we...
So it's...
Why are we, when we get in another country in a very highly visible moment, we're so done with the president, we're so over Joe Biden, we don't even care that he's wandering out in the yard by himself.
Yeah.
When it's time for the photo.
Yeah. Well, I got one more thing I'm going to show you, then I'm going to make a huge announcement. Huge announcement. It's coming right after this news article here. Don't go anywhere, because, man, I'm pumped about this, y'all. But this week, last week they had this COP29 summit. The United Nations Chief Guterres warns, quote, "We are in the final countdown to fight climate change and cool world temperatures," is what he's saying. So, of course, he's always threatening. He says, "And no country is spared," he ominously warned, referring to the disasters that have been occurring in recent times. United Nations Security General Antonio Guterres is once again warning the world needs to step up in its immediate action to combat climate change and return the world's temperature back 1.5 degrees Celsius. Guterres making his alarming remarks in this year's COP29 climate summit in Baku, Azerbaijan. In a speech given yesterday, Guterres stated, "The sound you hear is the ticking clock. We are in the final countdown to limit global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius, and time is not on our side." He claimed that 2024 had the hottest day on record, the hottest months on record, and almost certainly will be the hottest year on record. No country is spared, he ominously warned, referring to all the disasters that have been occurring in recent times. He went on to claim the rich caused the problem, the poor pay the highest price. In this crucial period, you and your governments must be guided by a clear truth. Climate finance is not charity, it is an investment. Climate action, which you understand, climate finance means taxes, just so you know. Climate action is not optional, it is an imperative. Both are indispensable to have a livable world for all humanity and prosperous future for every nation on earth. The clock is ticking. I count on you.
Oh, I bet they just thought that they were absolutely weftastic at their precious meeting.
Weftastic, yes.
Oh, there was a run where we had to talk about Klaus Schwab a lot.
Yeah.
We don't talk about him that much anymore. For whatever reason, he's not in the news. I'm sure it's some high plan, because it's like these things move and they work in cycles, right?
Something's going on.
So brace yourself. You're probably going to hear about him. Or
I think I'm about to tell you what's part of
okay. So I'm just saying, we've had a little break, a little reprieve, but it just makes my skin crawl when we have to start talking about all this WEF stuff. And
well, take a deep breath and realize it's November. January is Davos.
Yeah.
So it'll be here. And how interesting will this Davos be, knowing that Donald Trump will be sworn in mere days right around. It was either going to be right at the same time or within days of Davos, Donald Trump is back. They never saw that coming. Now, in 30 seconds, we'll be back. And in 30 seconds, when we come back, we're going to make a huge, huge announcement that I believe is going to sort of answer what you're talking about, why we are hearing so much about climate and not so much about Klaus Schwab. Be back in 30 seconds.
Would you like to help us build the big picture family? We're on a mission to wake up the world to what is really going on. All you have to do is go to our website at larryragland.com and make a one-time gift, or you can become a monthly partner. Any amount is a blessing and an encouragement to us. While you're there, make sure you get a copy of our book, I See Greatness in You. Browse our merchandise store, connect with us on our social media links, and join our mailing list. We appreciate it. And remember, we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake.
Yes, we are. We are certainly awake. Now, here's my theory. My theory is, we have the ramp up of climate, and we go back and review that the number one most dangerous thing against humanity coming out of the World Economic Forum, January of this year,
right,
was misinformation and disinformation.
Yep.
All right. Climate was number 2. The number one danger to humanity for the next 10 years is climate. So now we have Guterres coming out and saying the clock is ticking, it's over. If we don't do something right now, we're done. No country is spared. What that means is the world is going down. We have world war that many people are saying now, secular people, bankers, people on the inside are saying World War III has already begun. We have climate alarmists saying it's hopeless. We've forgotten all about that. What's the name of that meteor that asteroid that's supposed to come by pretty soon? Apophis is coming.
2029.
So we've got all these disasters coming. What we need, Sandy, is a savior. What we need is a savior. And how interesting, by the way, we know we have a savior. Okay, yes. His name is Jesus Christ. But isn't it interesting that while all this is going on, it's like it didn't even happen. We just a matter of days ago had another Senate hearing on UFOs, UAPs, and aliens, of which they said openly in the Senate for the first time ever, yes, we have entities that are not of this world. Yes, we have communicated with them. Yes, we have reverse engineered their stuff. Yes. They admitted all of it, and it was like a blip. Because here's why. We are beginning right now the next phase of what is known as disclosure. We've talked a lot about it, and there is one man who is the most forefront person that has been talking about disclosure when it comes from a biblical perspective, because he is a man of God, and he is well respected, secular and Christian world. There's none other than L.A. Marzulli.
Yes.
And y'all, this is just to let you know, if you don't know who L.A. Marzulli is, just go to lamarzulli.net. He has multiple videos. This is just one of his videos that he just right now. Trump administration disclosure, more is coming. The new administration is expected to reveal significant UFO information, with lawmakers advocating for transparency and addressing public demand for disclosure. This is just some highlights of what he talks about. UFOs are real and demand attention. Upcoming hearings scheduled for new disclosure. Lawmakers expect new information on UAPs. Emphasis of disclosure as a process. Testimonies from military officials. These are all this on this video. But the exciting thing is, Sandy, I have been in talks with LA, communicating with him. We've become friends. And we are going to be recording, and we will be having L.A. Marzulli on the show this Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central.
This is amazing.
Coming Thursday night.
And how timely.
How timely.
Wow.
So, L.A. Marzulli, is that not awesome? So, y'all show me some love if y'all are excited about L.A. Marzulli.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
So he's excited. He's got a brand new book coming out called The Rungs of Disclosure.
I should have brought it in here.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure many of you have seen it, Rungs of Disclosure. He basically has been using this word, this term, this phrase, the rungs of disclosure, for probably since 2017, 2018. I, along with him, the end of December, or it was either the 17th or 27th of December 2017, when that Tic Tac video came out, and Tucker Carlson began having guests on his show. But he basically brought that Tic Tac video to light The very first time we saw or heard about it was on Tucker Carlson. And I thought, I sat there and watched that, and I'm like, I cannot believe what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, what is about to happen, what is about to happen. Yeah. And L.A. Marzulli was the same. And I heard him say several days later, I waited for the phone to ring and nothing happened.
Wow.
And so he refers to this incident as the first rung, or at least one of his rungs of disclosure. I think there's a total of 17 rungs of disclosure in this book, but I can't wait to get into it.
So here's what you need to do. You need to go ahead and go to Amazon or go to his website, lamarzulli.net. Either way, go ahead and get the book. Go ahead and order the book. And if you get Amazon, you get the next day, and you can start reading it before we have him on the program. Yeah. He is going to be here Thursday night. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm so excited.
It's amazing.
L.A. Marzulli, and he's very, very excited. He's been familiar with the big picture. So several of our mutual friends have told him about our program. And so what I'm hoping is this is the beginning of a relationship where we can rely on him like we do Stan Dale and some others. How a great asset to the big picture family. So go ahead and mark your calendars. Go ahead and set your reminder. Set that notification bell. Hover over that notification bell. Select all notifications. Not guaranteeing that you get notified, but you got a better shot. And share this. Go start telling people right now. Hey, be on the big picture Thursday night, because Larry's going to get in some deep, deep stuff.
This is really so exciting. This is not someone who's just on the periphery. He is all up in this.
Yeah.
And
he's a man of God.
He's a man of God.
Yes, he is.
This is great. I mean, he has really stayed this course, and he is about to be on the forefront, a real part of this when it really begins to unfold.
Yeah. So that's this Thursday. So come on, y'all. Show some love. Hit that like button if you like what you see. And let me know in the comments section how excited you are about L.A. Marzulli being on the big picture. Wow, it's amazing. So without further ado, no better way to transition. L.A. Marzulli starts yelling for Uncle Jimmy.
It's your uncle, and his name is Jimmy.
Uncle Jimmy.
Open that closet door and let him out.
The Supernatural AI Update. Wow. Who knew when we was going to start the Supernatural AI Update that we would introduce L.A. Marzulli as a response to Uncle Jimmy?
And I know he's going to love Uncle Jimmy, just like the big picture family.
Yeah, he's going to. I don't know if I'm going to bring out Uncle Jimmy with him or not. Yeah. Should I? Let me know in the comment section. Do you think I should introduce Uncle Jimmy and Cosmo?
We want to hear from you. Yes or no? Do we introduce him to Uncle Jimmy?
Okay, speaking of disclosure and UFOs, there's got a couple from the Daily Mail here. A spherical UFO is seen hovering over New Jersey in jaw-dropping footage.
Hang on. When did this article come out?
This article came out November 17th, which is like yesterday. An unidentified Reddit user took to the site to share a video of a shiny object flying over a construction site in Florence, New Jersey on Monday. I don't know why it says Monday. Today's Monday.
Maybe we're talking about the previous Monday. I don't know.
No, well, maybe, or maybe that's in England. So maybe they.
Hang on. Is this the Daily Mail?
This is Daily Mail, yeah. So they're thinking about they're day behind us, a little bit of time behind us, I think. The small circular object was captured on camera around 2 p.m., flying quickly across the sky and appeared to be rotating. The user, who is known as Chesapeake Fitness 1 on the platform, said they noticed the object moments after hearing a loud jet sound, which caused them to look up. While other users suspected it was a mylar balloon commonly used at birthday parties, caught up in a gust of wind, the Redditor pushed back against that theory. Others said it was moving too fast to be a mylar balloon and appeared to be mechanically controlled. There's a picture of the dot there. You see it in the distance. And I think there's a video of it. Let's look at this video, okay? I don't think there's sound. Maybe there. Yeah. So you'll see it. You see it moving. It's very tiny, but you can see it moving quickly across the sky. Who knows what it is? I'm not saying I know what it is, but it's obviously reflective. It's moving quickly. I know it's very difficult. If you look at it on a phone, it's very difficult to see. It's very tiny. But that's not even really the one that I wanted to show you. I just want to tell you how these articles on UFOs are just rapidly showing up in my timeline. It says the object is too hard. It's hard to see being small, but it's unusual. It's too unusual to be a balloon. Mylar usually reflects sunlight, but this might have its own light. Another simply observed awesome footage seems like a spinning sphere in a hurry. So look at this. New Jersey recorded 16,820 UFO queries, 18.1 per 10,000 people. That was analyzed when they looked at the activity analyzed in August. Neighboring New York had 37,260.
And this is over what period of time?
I'm trying to find out real quick what it says here. It says New Jersey ranked 4th in Google searches for UFO activity. I don't know. It says according to data analyzed in August. Maybe that's all time, I guess. Neighboring New York had 37,260 monthly. Okay. Monthly UFO-related searches. Okay, searches.
Searches, okay.
And around 1904 per 10,000 residents. Massachusetts came in first with 13,750 monthly Google queries related to the topic. The Jersey sighting comes just days after a Las Vegas resident reportedly saw a bizarre cube-shaped object in the sky, and they claimed that they had witnessed strange aerial lights in the area over 100 times since June 2020, adding that these crafts always seem to head towards Nellis Air Force Base. For at least 17 nights last December, swarms of noisy small UFOs were seen moving at rapid speeds and displaying flashing red, green, and white lights within the highly restrictive airspace of Virginia's Joint Base Langley, Utah. Vegas natives have posted videos confirming they too have seen more than one red, green, or white UFO that wasn't flashing like a regular aircraft and like a satellite. But this is the next one I want to show you here is, let me see if I can find this, because this one right here is amazing. This was also from the Daily Mail, and this one is this week as well. This is November 16th.
Well, this is interesting.
Yeah, have you seen this one?
I've seen part of this.
All right, so this is a 10-minute video of these 2 or 3 UFOs that are swarming. It says, bombshell 10-minute video shows UFO swarm completely unaffected by missile attack outside military base. Now, you're going to see at the beginning these devices, these instruments, whatever they are, floating, and then the military decides to take them out. And you can see the explosions go through these items, and the debris goes forward, and then the debris settles and goes away, and they're still there. Watch this. And then they're back. What in the world?
Play that again.
Go back. And then they're back.
Yeah.
What is your opinion of that?
Well, so I watched this on basically somewhere else, and as the explosion was kind of dissipating, it looked like you could see a much larger shape and form that I can't see on this particular video.
Okay.
And it was quite interesting.
But you're sure it was this one?
I think it was the same because...
Well, this is... Let me go back because
they're firing a missile which goes...
This is like infrared. Look, there's multiple ones that they're zooming back out in color. I don't know if this shows them when they hit it or not. I don't think it does. And these are just different types of cameras. And then there they are over the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird.
It's crazy.
It's just weird.
I mean, the times that we live in.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Okay. Anyway.
But L.A. Marzulli is going to help us understand that.
Right. And I will say, whatever we've seen to this point, whatever we're seeing right now at this moment, I fully expect it to get much more interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm staying tuned.
All right. So look, this is what I'm saying. The last time that David Grush was there, remember, it was a big deal, but it was during the time of the Hunter Biden laptop.
Yeah.
And many people thought, okay, they're coming out with this now because now on everybody talking about we've seen aliens, these organic, what do you call them? Organic, biological entities that we haven't. And everybody was talking about it, so nobody was talking about the laptop.
They mean biologicals. They're talking about bodies. Entities.
Yeah,
I guess
and that aircrafts we have in possession of aircraft. Everybody was talking about it, so nobody was talking about the laptop. Well, now people are saying we have this other hearing that goes even further, admitting things than David Grush did. There's not really anything to distract from, supposedly. And people are talking about this very lightly still. And it's like this thing didn't even happen. This hearing didn't happen, but they had to get it out. But some people are saying this is the beginning of several more hearings distracting us maybe from something that's going on behind the scenes between now and January 20th. But let's watch this right here. This is part of the House hearing. And by the way, News Nation is a news channel now that's trying to compete against CNN, Fox News, and all that. They're really the only news organization that covers this. They were the one that had the exclusive interview with David Grush before.
Did they cover this end to end?
Yes, they covered. They showed the whole thing, and they've had multiple people talking about it. And this is from their YouTube.
Is this Anna Paulina Luna?
No, this is Mace.
Is she okay?
Yeah, she's not on the thing. I don't think. Okay.
If I say immaculate constellation, I'll be on some list. Maybe a FISA warrant. So come at me, bro. I guess.
I think that what the American people need to know is that the U.S. military and intelligence community are sitting on a huge amount of visual and other information, still photos, video photos, other sensor information, and they have for a very long time. And it's not those fuzzy photos and videos that we've been given. There's very clear
high res,
high resolution.
How many visuals, graphics, videos, photos?
I mean, I've been told hundreds, maybe thousands.
All right, Michael Schellenberger joins me now. Great to have you here. Just on what you were just saying.
So think about this. Have we ever seen high resolution 4K images of these entities? No. We have no one has ever released that.
Look,
but they're admitting that they have in possession thousands.
I hope they do. I hope they're verifiable. I hope that if we ever do get to see them, that, we can be convinced from these, because obviously I believe there's a lot of tampering. There can be a lot of fake stuff put out there. If I'm going to buy into something, I want it to be believable. I do believe that there are UFOs, but this is what's happened in our country and a lot of the world. Is there's been this massive effort to keep this secret.
Yeah.
I believe a lot of people have died. I believe that our country has paid off individuals in other countries in other parts of the world. I believe I believe we have threatened other countries and certainly individuals to keep your mouth shut, because this is not coming out now. I think if they had their way, it would never come out.
Yeah.
But I think that reality is it is going to come out because they cannot control it forever. When you've got leaks in every direction, you're not going to be able to shore up every one of those leaks. And I don't think we're going to find out necessarily in this arena from these hearings the truth and what we need and want to know, but I do believe it is going to come forth.
Amen. All right. So this is somebody that says top 10 moments from the November 13th UAP hearing. We'll skim through these.
Some of the testimony you will hear them deliver today does not reflect well on influential individuals and agencies within the U.S. federal government and perhaps some of our contractors.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the most noteworthy moments.
A significant body of information about UAPs, including military intelligence databases that have evidence of their existence as physical craft.
Number 10, Nancy Mace blasts the Department of Defense.
Non-human intelligence exists. Non-human intelligence has been interacting with humanity. This interaction is not new, and it's been ongoing, and there are unelected people in the government that are aware of that.
Spearheaded by the Committee on Oversight and Accountability, the November 13th, 2024 hearing on UAPs, entitled Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena, Exposing the Truth, got off to a fiery start, courtesy of outspoken Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace of South Carolina.
No amount of outside pressure would ever keep me from pursuing a subject to ground, come hell or high water. On that score, I want to thank our witnesses for being here. We have before us a panel of individuals accomplished in the military, in civilian government, in science, and in journalism.
True to the committee's goals and intentions, Mace explained that the hearing had been convened in the interest of transparency to taxpayers. Specifically, Representative Mace addressed the need for results, whether they identify the cause and true nature of UAPs or yield nothing at all. In perhaps her boldest moment, Mace noted that the Pentagon, quote, has failed 6 consecutive audits and that it had never successfully passed one.
Adding to this is a runaway overclassification of documents and materials, a reluctance to declassify materials when appropriate, and at times an outright refusal to share critical information with Congress.
Number 9.
Are real. Advanced technologies not made by our government or any other government are monitoring sensitive military installations around the globe. Furthermore, the U.S. is in possession of UAP technologies, as are some of our adversaries.
Author of extraterrestrial origins. Although Ismail Kadri
transparency. The same way as we, as Americans, have met other challenges, we can restore our faith in our government institutions.
Number 1. Mysterious white orb over Kuwait.
And since my reporting on this immaculate constellation last month, another source came forward who told me that they saw a roughly 13-minute-long, high-definition, full-color video of a white orb UAP coming out of the ocean approximately 20 miles off the coast of Kuwait.
Michael Schellenberger's testimony expressed the environmental journalist's belief that there is, quote, a growing body of evidence that the government is not being transparent about what it knows about unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAP, formerly called UFOs.
It was filmed from a helicopter. Then halfway through the video, the person said the orb is joined by another orb that briefly comes into the frame from the left before rapidly moving again out of the frame.
To his point, Schellenberger...
So I'm not going to play all of it. But
okay, let me just add to that. If that interests you about the USOs, the unidentified submersible, you need to tune in to the show with L.A. Marzulli.
Thursday night.
Because
this Thursday night, 7 o'clock.
He knows all about that and so much more. But here is a very convenient thing about the government. You know, about 4 minutes back in that video, you heard May say something about our contractors. She's talking about defense contractors, I'm sure. And there's this thing called plausible deniability.
Say that.
Sure, the government may see where these things are, and if they crash or if we somehow are able to shoot one of them down, we can find them, but they're turned over to these private corporations, these defense contractors, to back engineer so that the government can have plausible deniability.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So good. And what she's talking about is there's nobody better than to ask about all this than L.A. Marzulli, and he will be here 7 o'clock this Thursday night.
I hope he does talk about the so-called underwater
I think he will,
base
because I'm going to ask him
off the coast of California.
I'm going to ask him about it. You sent me this right here. This was pretty interesting. This is what we're talking about, UAPs, and this is why you have to take everything with a grain of salt, because they can do anything in the sky now.
Yes.
Look at this interesting.
This says nothing of Project Bluebeam. To cast images and trick you.
So watch how incredible this drone technology is now.
It's really
that's
crazy.
in China. Watch this. And when you see what they can do, the shapes they can do, when then you start thinking about disclosure, you start thinking about it would be so easy. Wow. It would be so easy for them to watch this. This is not even Project Bluebeam. This is just drone.
In a computer program.
飞龙在天，天长寿，端午快乐，乐长流，愿大家风调雨顺，吉祥安康。
That's crazy.
That is so impressive.
That is crazy. Those are drones, y'all.
I don't know how many.
Look at that. That's a UFO. And that's a galaxy. It's a galaxy. Look, y'all. How easy they can do a UFO.
That's why I say I want absolutely uncontrovertible evidence.
Yeah.
Because of like this technology that can trick you. So
wait a minute. What is going on tonight? There are 2 shows going on this channel. I've been on the other one this whole time.
What?
There are like 90 plus in chat. I'm confused now.
What?
Are we on here twice?
What?
I have no idea. I'm using this new company. Have they? Okay, wait a minute.
Okay, we got to look into this.
We're gonna look at this.
Stay with us. Hang on. Hang on.
Okay, hang on a second.
You got 2 different streams going at the same time?
Yeah, we're on here twice. What in the world?
We're competing against ourselves tonight.
Sneaky censorship is happening? That is not supposed to be on here.
All right.
That is crazy. That's why our views are down.
My goodness.
I kept thinking, where's all our viewers? Well, they're on 2 different shows.
I love it.
I don't love it.
I'm sorry. It's funny. So.
All right, talk.
It's good for a laugh for me.
Let me just turn this on over here and watch.
Anybody want to place bets to see which one is going to do better than the other?
This is the other show.
Oh, my God.
This is another show. We have 2 different live chats going on.
You're on here twice. Thanks, Cheryl. Wow. That's awesome.
My goodness. I had no idea.
I
So
needed
look,
that.
whichever one you're on tonight, thank you for being on there.
Yes.
That's never happened. That's because of this new company. That something didn't go right.
Something didn't go right.
There's
a glitch in the system.
There's a glitch in the matrix. I'm in here twice. I've been duplicated. I've been cloned.
I didn't think it was possible.
There's 2 Larry Raglins and there's 2 Sandy Raglins.
God help us all.
Why is it not showing up in my program? That is so weird. So I apologize. I had no idea. If I would not have looked over there, I would have had no idea. We were on 2. We're running 2 shows on YouTube, 1 on Rumble. I'll figure this out.
Wow.
So Sandy, I'm just gonna wind it down. I'm just gonna say that's it for tonight. That's it. I'm sorry.
You've outdone yourself. We're going to have to depart. We got to make a departure.
I'm just going to tell everybody, make sure that you're here for the Bible study Wednesday night, breaking news between now and then, and Thursday night.
Thursday night, folks. Come on.
L.A. Marzulli.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
And it'll only be on 1 show. It won't be 2 shows.
We'll try not to
We're
duplicate the show that night.
That's crazy. What happened? What did you do to me? I'm so mad. Well, Sandy, it's been a great show tonight.
A lot of fun.
Times 2.
Yeah.
So
double the fun for you tonight.
Whichever you're watching us on, YouTube or Rumble or X. Thank you for joining us. We love you. We ain't woke. But you know what we are? Wait a minute. What? Nothing got the chicken tonight?
No.
Nothing got the. I didn't stay long enough.
I didn't get angry enough or creeped out enough, I should say.
Okay.
Yeah, it was creeped out.
No,
I didn't
no bless your heart or nothing?
No bless your hearts tonight.
Wow. Okay. Well,
stay tuned, though.
Stay tuned. See y'all next time on The Big Picture. We always want to remind you we ain't woke. But we are certainly awake. God bless.
Would you like to help us build the Big Picture family? We're on a mission to wake up the world to what is really going on. All you have to do is go to our website at LarryRagland.com and make a one-time gift, or you can become a monthly partner. Any amount is a blessing and an encouragement to us. While you're there, make sure you get a copy of our book, I See Greatness in You. Browse our merchandise store, connect with us on our social media links, and join our mailing list. We appreciate it. And remember, we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake.